राइट राइट, दैट इज ऑल्सो देयर, दैट इज ऑल्सो देयर। ठीक है, यहाँ पे तो कहीं भी हो जाता है ना, तो इसका काम कुछ भी हो। अनीशा का दोबारा भेजा है। हाँ।
Students, we're just waiting for all the three judges to join. One is already there. Anisha ma'am is already there. As soon as Himangi ma'am and Seema ma'am join, we'll start with the presentation of Team 5. A very good morning to all of you once again. I hope you're all ready. Yes, team 5, I'll just read out your case study for you. Your case study starts with crafting a sustainable future in fashion, right? Is that so? Okay. In recent years, the fashion industry has faced increasing scrutiny regarding its ethical practices, particularly concerning labor conditions, environmental sustainability, and animal welfare. One notable case study is the transformation of Patagonia, an outdoor clothing company, which has made ethical values a cornerstone of its business model. Patagonia's commitment to ethical values began in the 1990s when it started to examine its supply chain and reduce its environmental impact. The company implemented measures to reduce water wastage, switch to organic cotton, and minimize waste in its manufacturing processes. Additionally, Patagonia became a pioneer in promoting fair labor practices by ensuring safe working conditions and fair wages for workers in its factories worldwide. Patagonia took a bold stance with its Don't Buy This Jacket campaign, urging consumers to reconsider their purchasing habits and opt for environmentally friendly alternatives. This campaign challenged the traditional consumerist mentality of the fashion industry and encouraged consumers to prioritize sustainability over excessive consumption. In the 2011 Black Friday edition of the New York Times, Patagonia published an audacious full page advertisement telling viewers not to buy their jacket. Below the jacket's image was a message detailing why customers shouldn't buy the product. Among the listed factors are the 36 gallons of water required to produce the jacket, enough to fill the daily needs of 45 people, the 20 pounds of carbon dioxide emitted, 24 times the weight of the jacket, and the amount of waste produced, two-thirds of its weight in waste. Though the advertisement wasn't successful in its intended purpose, sales rose 30% following the campaign. It did raise awareness of an increasingly pressing problem. The proliferation of fast fashion brands such as Zara and H&M has exacerbated the negative impact of consumerism on the environment. In an industry where making a quick buck is placed above virtually anything, design theft, weight discrimination, or child labor, to name a few, Patagonia is among the few that have stayed true to their mission. Although many apparel brands have recently begun sustainable initiatives, none live and breathe that sentiment the way Patagonia has since its inception back in the 1970s. Then began looking internally through its supply chain for areas that were damaging the environment. Ensuing the findings, they revised their operations by switching from conventional to organic cotton, costing them 300% more relative to the year prior, changing facilities to more eco-friendly alternatives, and even sharing the findings with larger brands such as Nike to educate them on the environmental impact of the fashion industry. These efforts are all traceable using the interactive map on their website, where you can trace each step in the supply chain for the product you have purchased from them. On the site, they don't claim to be 100% sustainable. Instead, they disclose the damaging areas of the product and state how they hope to change them. In 2005, the company launched the Common Threads Initiative, encouraging customers to reduce waste by creating a second-hand market for Patagonia products in partnership with eBay. If customers prefer to keep the products, the company assisted with the repairs of damaged clothing through the use of the repair facility. In a world where companies are consumed by growth and profitability figures, Patagonia's environmental priorities are a refreshing reminder that doing good is good for business. It would be nice to say the opposite, but Patagonia still remains an outlier. So before you buy the products, think about whether you really need it. They're designed to last a lifetime. The question posed to Team 5 is, do fast fashion companies have a responsibility to address the environmental and social impact, or it's solely the consumer's responsibility to make sustainable choices? I hope the case study is clear to Team 5.
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
So we start with the presentation for which you get 8 minutes. Your time starts now. Please start.
I ask you all to imagine a chef who grows his own herbs and vegetables in his restaurant's garden. While it might seem like a way to attract eco conscious consumers, the chef does it primarily to ensure the quality and purity of his ingredients. This shows how decisions driven by genuine concern for quality and sustainability can also have positive business outcomes. This is the same way how Patagonia exemplified this principle of fashion industry. The Don't Buy This Jacket campaign by Patagonia stands as a bold move. Though it did employ reverse psychology and yes, did lead to increased sales, but the net effect was positive. This campaign recognized a paradox: the environmental cost of consumerism in an industry that depends on consumer purchases for its survival. The success of this campaign demonstrates the power of aligning business practices with ethical values. However, this brings us to a darker aspect of this industry, that is greenwashing. Greenwashing is a deceptive market practice that uses green PR to make the public believe that the company is environmentally friendly. It's a form of advertising spin that misleads consumers into thinking that they're making sustainable choices, when in reality, they're not. In a world where the entire landscape can be seen as a rat trap, with luxuries as bait, we are often the rats allured by such deceptive baits. It is also important to recognize that even companies like Patagonia are not free from criticism. The high cost of their products can limit accessibility. And as the company scales, maintaining ethical oversight becomes even more challenging. Cruella de Vil, a very famous Disney character from 101 Dalmatians, known for her extravagant and unethical fashion choices, serves as a reminder that fashion should be a form of escapism and self expression, not a symbol status. We must move away from the moral myopia that blinds us to the long term consequences of our consumption habits.
In our globalized world, fast fashion trends flicker like fireflies amidst looming environmental concerns. Companies like Patagonia emerge as the knights in shining armor, gaining a loyal consumer base that can afford to be environmentally conscious. Pollution from fast fashion flows across borders, with giants like Zara and H&M exploiting lax labor regulations in developing countries. These corporations are on a free run to earn their profits, while unnaturally killing exotic animals and destroying ecosystems. The consumers face a conflict of interest, and the industry's lack of transparency regarding majority of the discarded clothing ending up in a landfill is a significant disadvantage. Fast fashion brands often cater to the clothing requirements of the less affluent sections of society. Fashion industry success must be measured up by corporate social responsibility while monitoring employment impacts on their factories in vulnerable areas. The complexities of capitalism and consumerism have led to a situation where behind a basic necessity like clothing lies a world of labor exploitation. As the father of our nation rightly said, production by the masses and not mass production should be our goal. Gandhiji's idea of self-reliance and charkha is a beautiful way to show how cultural responsibility plays a crucial role. Responsibility also lies with corporations, monitoring agencies, and consumer base. We must embrace the melody of slow fashion, the symphony of vocal for local and handicrafts that locally source materials and are timeless. Like Patagonia, we need to reject excess and appreciate the beauty of less.
नैतिकता जैसे शब्दों का चयन ऐसी परिस्थितियों में किया जाता है जहां सही और गलत का भेद करना हो। फैशन ब्रांड्स को अक्सर इस नैतिकता का सामना करना पड़ता है कि वे बाजार में प्रतिस्पर्धा को बनाए रखने के लिए किसको प्राथमिकता दे, नैतिकता को या फिर लाभ को। फैशन ब्रांड्स को ये समझना होगा कि लंबी उड़ान भरने के लिए नैतिकता को ध्यान में रखना चाहिए। उन्हें हर बार अपने लाभ के बारे में नहीं सोचना चाहिए। मुनाफा शब्द सुनकर मुस्कुराता है मनुष्य, नैतिकता को पीछे छोड़कर चला जाता है मनुष्य। इस प्रतिस्पर्धा की शुरुआत कुछ ऐसे होती है कि विक्रेताओं के लिए ग्राहक राजा होता है, पर अंत में वही ग्राहक उन विक्रेताओं के लिए कठपुतली बनकर रह जाता है। ये सारे उद्योग इन्हीं ग्राहकों से चलते हैं। उपभोक्ताओं के द्वारा अपने लिए उत्पादों का चयन अगर नैतिक आधार पर हो तो अवश्य एक अंतर ला सकता है, परंतु बड़े पैमाने पर नहीं, क्योंकि उनके पास वह शक्ति, संसाधन और पहुंच ही नहीं है जो फास्ट फैशन उद्योग और सरकारों के पास बड़े पैमाने पर परिवर्तन लाने के लिए अपेक्षित है। उपभोक्ता उन ब्रांड्स का समर्थन कर सकते हैं जो नैतिक आचरण से कपड़े तैयार करते हैं। क्या हम सभी निरस्तीकरण की संस्कृति के जटिल जाल से परिचित नहीं हैं? उपभोक्ता वर्ग सामूहिक रूप से एक साथ आकर कदाचार से कुख्यात उत्पादों को अस्वीकार कर सकते हैं। कपड़े सिर्फ स्टाइल के बारे में नहीं होने चाहिए, यह ग्रह और उसके लोगों के प्रति नैतिक प्रतिबद्धता का बयान होना चाहिए।
Patagonia serves as a guiding light in the foggy nights of the fashion industry, much like a lighthouse leading ships to safety. Its commitment to sustainability stands out as a beacon, inspiring other companies to adopt the same. This ripple effect promotes industry wide change towards better values. Patagonia's approach underscores the need for robust institutional frameworks and clear SOPs that prioritize ethical practices. Patagonia's Common Thread initiative encourages consumers to buy fewer, higher quality goods, thus minimizing waste and promoting reusing and recycling. This strategy sets an example for others to follow. Government involvement is also crucial for holding fast fashion brands accountable. Regulations should mandate sustainability reporting, enforcing penalties for false claims, and uphold stricter labor laws. Transparency is essential, with companies disclosing detailed information about their operations. Watchdog organizations can expose greenwashing and enforce truth in advertising laws. Financial incentives for sustainable practices and support for sustainable technology research and development can drive industry transformation. Consumers at the brass tacks also play a significant role by choosing sustainable products whenever possible. But in the totality, it is not only the consumer's responsibility to look after the sustainability. By working together, companies, governments, and consumers can make a more sustainable industry and an environment. Thank you.
Well presented before time and very articulately presented, team 5. Team 2, now you will get 3 minutes to confer, and then you have to come back with your commentary for the case that has been presented by team 5. Yes? Team 2? So your time starts now. Team 2, are you ready with your commentary? Team 2, are you ready with
Yes,
your
ma'am.
commentary? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So 3, 2, 1, go. Start, please.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I would like to congratulate my fellow opponents. Their coordination and strategy, which was displayed by your team, which was remarkable. And it was clear that you all worked together and you worked very well. So I would like to add some points that definitely the fashion industry is one of the largest contributors to global waste and pollution. And this holistic view does not only address the environmental impact, but also it promotes fair treatment of workers and transparency in supply chains. And here is the data. The fashion industry is responsible for approximately 10% of global carbon emissions, and it produces 92 million tons of wastes annually. And I remember a quote which goes very well with this case, which is, we don't need a handful of people doing zero waste perfectly. We just need millions of people doing it imperfectly. So now my teammates will continue.
First of all, I would like to congratulate my opponents that they spoke very well. But I would like to tell you that you could have added some more points. And I would like to tell you that it is not superfluous that brands like Zara, allegedly being a bastion of Zionism and being called allegedly xenophobic, are passing a havoc to the society. And also, many laborers have succumbed to death because of these companies and their unethical ways. Also, I would like to tell you that as you spoke about high cost of clothing, so I would like to tell you that high cost is a testimony that the company's primal inclination is the high quality of products. Unlike fast fashion trends and fast fashion brands such as Zara, H&M that you already mentioned, such products are made to last a lifetime. Also, consumerism and capitalism are the backbones of any industry and potent and exacerbate the choices among the masses. Now, my teammate would like to continue.
Friends, you included different points like Gandhiji's views, and second one is vocal for local policy. But we would have liked if you included the following points. The first one was greener fashion industry of India. Second, Indian government's agreement that they passed during the G20 presidency related to sustainable fashion for the world. And third one was the government's policies like zero waste fashion, handloom and handicrafts, and sustainable fashion and Indian textiles.
You pointed out recycling. So recycling is basically very much cost demanding and it consumes much water. So this way or that way, environment is being affected. Now our question to you is, how can fashion brands address the global inequality inherent in outsourcing production to low-wage countries while ethically incorporating technological advancements, for example, automation and AI, in their production processes without disproportionately displacing workers? Thank you.
I would like to add one more point that you already mentioned about greenwashing. Now, I would like to tell you an initiative by the UK government that UK government has regulated and the tax incentives such and has also taken up steps like lowering the VATs. And I would like to tell you that measures to reform fashion production goes beyond greenwashing, and it requires policies for the creation and enforcements also, along with the related import controls subsiding the eco traffic. Now, this much, I hope you have understood our questions. Thank you very much.
Team 5, have you understood the question posed to you by Team 2? Okay, so you're not audible, beta. You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am, we understood what this is.
Okay, so now your 3 minutes start now to confer and come back with your rebuttal.
true.
Team 5, are you set for your rebuttal?
Yes, ma'am.
So we start now. 3, 2, 1, go.
सर प्रथम आपके प्रश्न के लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं इस पर कहना चाहूंगी कि भोग विलास और आवश्यकता में केवल उतना अंतर है जितना प्रमाद और नैतिकता में। निर्भर आप पर करता है कि आप विलासितापूर्ण आज बनाएं या सुखद कल। आज के उपभोक्ताओं के मानवाधिकारों, पर्यावरणीय संरक्षण और नैतिकता के प्रति उच्च जागरूकता है जो ब्रांड के लिए विश्वसनीयता और वफादारी को बढ़ावा देती है।
Thank you so much, Team 2, for your insightful post commentary. And we really appreciate your compliments to our team's commentary as well. To begin with, I would like to say that you stated that profit is the main motive of business and profit is the main motive of capitalist societies. I would like to say that that is very true. Businesses cannot exist without incurring profit, but that profit should not go way over the ethical considerations also. So, if there are lapses in the ethical considerations, then somewhere we need to check our ideology that profit is the supreme motive. Coming to the labor laws part, it is very much known that fast fashion has a bad social impact as well because these countries exploit labor regulations in developing countries which lack strict labor laws. So, you said that corporations should address these ethical considerations of labor practices. But these companies cannot do them themselves. They are exploiting the lapses in the institutional framework. And I would like to talk about the Bangladesh Fire and Safety Accord. So, definitely in the countries where these labor brokers, like in Taiwan, so they are using these malpractices. So, in that case, institutions need to step in and they need to check the accountability and transparency. Now, I would like that my teammate Inshira continues.
There's a notion that business and altruism cannot coexist. But this very notion is being challenged by companies like Patagonia. Patagonia exemplify that doing good can be good for businesses. There's a different notion that is also contradictory here, that sustainability has to be exclusive of technology. But sustainability is not at odds with technological advancements. Rather, it actually thrives through it. It is also important to recognize that companies need to have a balance with deontological ethics and consecutionalism ethics, wherein deontological ethics focuses on the adherence to the moral rules and the duties. For instance, which you said about the low wage countries. This would emphasize that fashion brands have an obligation to follow the ethical practices regardless of the consequences, that is the profit. But on the other hand, consequentialism evaluates practices based on their outcomes, suggesting that brands should prioritize practices that lead to the greatest overall benefit. In such case, like reducing environmental harm and improving worker conditions.
I would like to further add that sometimes de-incentivizing offshoring practices can also help, like that done in California. So countries should be wary of the international companies coming into their nations, and they should make sure that proper labor laws are being followed. Now I would like my teammate Arihan to continue.
Thank you for your question, Team 2. Innovations in material science have led to the development of sustainable materials like biodegradable plastics and recycled fabrics, which help reduce waste. Therefore, definitely, we can inculcate AI in further developing the material science behind these innovations, which can help us to further reduce waste and provide for the masses higher quality products.
At the end of the day, it also depends upon consumer behavior, because we must work together to address the monopoly that these big brands have. And blockchain supply can actually really help in ensuring that transparency with the consumers. The consumers' outrage is very essential. And there was a social media campaign also called Who Made My Clothes? So, as long as consumers are aware, they can take the necessary actions at the individual steps. But addressing the infrastructural lacuna in unethical labor practices requires the support of institutions like International Labor Organization as well.
So that's the end of your rebuttal. Team 5, is that?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Well within time now. So you answered it well. So now we have the judges round. I request Anisha ma'am to ask her question to team 5.
Good morning, everyone. Very well explained, Team 5. So my question to you is, to what extent should consumers be held responsible for their choices in terms of social impact, social and environmental impact? And the second part of it is, how should companies balance marketing strategies with more ethical practices without appearing hypocritical?
Good
Am I
morning,
clear,
ma'am.
or should I repeat my question?
No, ma'am. Ma'am, you were very clear, ma'am. Thank you so much for your
All
question.
right. All right. Thank you. Yeah.
Ma'am, I would like to reiterate something from our main commentary, that individual actions do matter. But at the end of the day, large scale change can be brought with the help of corporations and institutional framework as well. Now, we all know that consumers get easily influenced by taglines, and this is a trend on social media as well. Sheen Hall or Temu Hall. Temu's tagline is shop like a billionaire. So they actually kind of enforce these ideologies, and they are confusing the consumers regarding the amount of clothes they should have in their wardrobe and till which time they should wear these clothes. Actually, consumers should understand that in the long run, they will definitely save more if they buy more expensive clothes rather than buying cheap clothes again and again.
Ma'am, also as for the consumer's part, there's a concept of mindful consumption, which I feel should be inculcated into every household. It's when individuals find joy in making thoughtful and sustainable choices. So this can help to align them with hedonistic desires with sustainability goals. So there are few measures like buy less and choose well, wherein you focus, as my teammate said, you focus on purchasing fewer but higher quality goods that are durable and timeless rather than trendy fast fashion pieces. Also, second hand shopping. We have to opt for second hand or vintage clothing shopping to reduce the demand for newer production. Thrift stores and online platforms can be a great resource. Even in my parents' time, there was a concept of wherein they used to give their clothes for utensils. So, in the same way, we have to inculcate these types of practices in our daily life, because one step truly can make wonders.
Ma'am, there's a confusion in consumers that their fashion should not be about wearing glittery dresses, but it should be a statement, a commitment. We should wear what is comfortable for us rather than adhering to the trends which are also promoted by many kind of celebrities online. And this concept of sustainability has always been there in the Indian lifestyle. We always lend our clothes to our siblings and cousins, and we always mindfully consume. So, in a way, it could be said that we are trying to spend less money, but in the longer run, it has sustainability. consumers should understand that what they are doing will lead to less recycling as well.
And ma'am, to come up to your second question, wherein how to balance the companies with the ethical stances, ma'am, there's this concept of psychological egoism, which says that even though you are seemingly doing altruistic actions and they're motivated by self-interests, which for a corporation will be profit making, but their actions are actually sustainable. So in this context, also with Patagonia, they, even though the man's intention, the founder's intention was to maybe make the hiking a little easier, but in essence, he did make a sustainable choice. So while motivations may be self-serving, but with the positive environmental outcomes demonstrate that psychological egoism can align with sustainable practices, benefiting both the company and the planet.
Ma'am, I'll reiterate what I said in my speech. Consumers at the brass tacks also play a role by choosing sustainable products whenever possible. But in the totality, it is not only the consumer's responsibility to look after the sustainability. That is, ma'am, we can't entirely blame the consumers for the sustainable choices that they have to make, as they will have some uh, more options, like from the companies like Sheen and all, giving them cheaper products. So ma'am, it also relies on the companies and the governments to make sure that higher quality product goods are the priority that is given to the consumers.
Ma'am, we need to inculcate and integrate this environmental consciousness in the larger public. They should be well aware of their actions and the impact it has on the environment. Especially the youth of the nation should kind of romanticize a minimalism, where in today's world we romanticize rapid cycles of consumption and production. So it's very important that we educate consumers about the negative impacts that are there of their actions regarding fashion. Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Well explained.
Thank you, ma'am, for your question. Thank you so much, Seema ma'am. Now, Anisha ma'am. Now, can I request Seema ma'am to please ask a question? Seema ma'am, could you please ask a question?
Yes, ma'am, I'm there.
Yes, ma'am.
Dear students, my question to you is that how can we, being the youth, uh, how can we, being the youth, balance both sustainability and the demand for westernization of everything in today's world? Because what I feel personally is that being a youth and being in this generation, what we are demanding is only westernization. We are not ready to wear our traditional clothes. We are not ready to follow our traditions. Whatever we want is all westernization. So how can we balance sustainability and westernization and move along with the society?
Good morning, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your question. Ma'am, this is the kind of intricacy and complexity of consumerism and capitalism. Because in capitalist society, we have forgotten the ideals of self reliance and production by the masses and not mass production. And fast fashion has erased that kind of cultural diversity in our fashion as well. We see everyone kind of wearing the same dresses, jeans, tops, whatever is in the trend. So, in a way, that individuality in fashion has been lost. People are afraid to make a bold statement regarding fashion, and this is very much visible with the dress that the Indian Olympics team also had, which was just a digital print of the beautiful ikat design. So, it shows that corporations are valuing their profit, and we are engaged in rapid cycles of consumption and production, and there is excessive demand.
Ma'am, it is also important that companies put this point that fashion is not universal. Every place has their own different cultures and different garments. For us Indians, we wear saris. For Japanese, they wear kimonos. So it is important that we have to understand that companies cannot kill the diversity. So for an instance which I came across, this was yesterday, there was an Olympics unveiling of the costumes, wherein there was digital print of ikat. Now, this showed that people are actually going forward and buying synthetic materials of traditional items rather than wearing the traditional handicraft made items. So maybe it is part of different educational institutions, as a society, as a culture, all of us together have to advocate and propagate the fact that we cannot forget our tradition. We cannot just get we cannot get inspired by different cultures and forget our own, because diversity often becomes an obstacle for companies, so they try to kill the diversity. So hence we need to emphasize on the fact that the Olympics was a missed opportunity by the companies to propagate their own culture. So in the same way, taking small steps to actually propagate can be a better way, so that us youth are also aware of our tradition.
Ma'am, it is very much evident that companies are trying to kill the diversity in cultural clothing, because Shein produced 1.5 million styles in a year. So there are many cases of design theft as well. They're just trying to flood the markets. They're trying to create that excessive demand, that hunger, and people will always adhere to the trends. So here and also we need to mindfully consume. Youth should engage with the Ministry of Textiles in the handicrafts industry. Educational programs can play a crucial role. For example, lessons on sustainability and the local handicrafts like Zardozi or Banarasi sari. Actually, these cottage industries also lack the kind of institutional support that we require. So we need to bring them into the mainstream economy, which has been monopolized by these big brands, in order to revive our culture and cottage industries. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Team 5, you've answered your question well in time. Seema ma'am, would you like to ask any further questions?
No, ma'am, they have answered it well.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, now, so we finished with the first round of the match. We'll have a bio break for 2 minutes before we come back again and start with the second round of the match. So right now it is 11:43. So we'll come back and join at 11:45. The timer will also be put up. So we come back again. Okay. Thank you, children. Both the teams are ready? Yes. So I'll just read out the case study that has been given to team 2 for today's quarterfinal match. The case study is I.J. Good, a brilliant early researcher into artificial intelligence, wrote in a 1965 article, Let an ultra-intelligent machine be defined as a machine that can far surpass all the intellectual activities of any man, however clever. Since the design of machines is one of these intellectual activities, an ultra-intelligent machine could design even better machines. There would then unquestionably be an intelligence explosion, and the intelligence of man would be left far behind. Thus, the first ultra-intelligent machine is the last invention that man needs ever make, provided that the machine is docile enough to tell us how to keep it under control. Scenarios in which highly advanced machines threaten the survival of humanity, once the exclusive domain of science fiction, have increasingly generated interest and concern. If machines become smarter than humans and capable of redesigning themselves, their evolution could quickly spiral out of control, producing what researchers now refer to as a technological singularity. For instance, the homepage of the Machine Intelligence Research Institute, MIRI, announces that the institute researchers are trying to make sure that intelligent machines will not develop in unintended harmful ways. MIRI researchers are focusing on the notion of a machine using principles rather than genetic algorithms to reason about its own behavior. One might argue, however, that a super intelligent machine would by definition be able to outsmart its human nannies. Simply building a known theory of ethics into a super intelligent machine might not ensure that it will treat us well and may even kill us. Muehlhauser and Helm from MIRI point out in a 2012 document that were a machine super optimizer to optimize one of the familiar moral theories, the result might be far from desirable. Optimized hedonistic utilitarianism might lead the machine to hook us all up to machines that continuously administer chemical or neurological experiences, while optimized negative utilitarianism to minimize sufferings rather than maximize pleasure might lead it to euthanize all humans painlessly. No humans, no suffering. The question posed to you is, given the considerations raised in the case, is it morally permissible for engineers to design and attempt to build super intelligent machines such as those described in the case? Your time to give your presentation, Team 2, starts now.
Thank you, ma'am. We would like to present our presentation now. We stand on the cusp of a new epoch, where the domains of science fiction inch ever closer to tangible reality. I.J. Good envisioned an ultra-intelligent machine that could surpass human intellect, initiating an intelligence explosion. This visionary notion, dubbed as technological singularity, intimates a future where the inaugural ultra-intelligent machine could potentially be humanity's final invention, contingent upon our ability to retain dominion. In this nascent realm, the stakes are colossal. The Machine Intelligence Research Institute, also known as MIRI, diligently strives to ensure these entities evolve in harmony with human values. This discourse echoes the venerable Sanskrit adage, Sarvam Jnanam Paramarthataya cha Vyavhariktaya cha Sadhyam, signifying the delicate equilibrium we must navigate between theoretical ideals and pragmatic realities. Moreover, the enigma of the machine optimizer presents a profound paradox. Should a super intelligent machine optimize according to utilitarian principles? In this contemplation, we tread the precarious boundary between promise and peril, acutely aware of the vast potential of human ingenuity.
People compare AI with printing press, computers, and atom bombs. No, it's completely different. Atom bombs did not make a decision to drop themselves on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but AI can surely make decisions of creation as well as destruction. To take over the world, AI really doesn't need to be conscious. In June 2022, Google engineer Blake Lemony publicly announced that the AI chatbot Lambda he was developing has become sentient. The intimacy that Lambda had developed with Blake led him to lose his job, but he had no regrets. If AI can put people at risk and lose their job, what else can it do to us? Recently, Windows users across the world experienced what is called blue screen of death. Microsoft outage has also crippled many other sectors such as banks, stock market, and airlines. This was by mistake. What if it was done on purpose? Jeffrey Hinton, the father of AI, warned humanity against AI. He said AI bots could write their own codes to act in the way they want. In 17th century, René Descartes feared that there might be an evil demon imprisoning him in a world of illusions. In ancient Greece, Plato told the famous allegory of cave, where people were chained while facing a wall with illusions. In ancient India, sages claimed the humans to be living inside what we call Maya, the world of illusions. The AI revolution is bringing us face to face with Descartes' demon, Plato's cave, and Maya. If we are not careful, a veil of illusions can fall over all of humanity and we may not even know it.
The development of super intelligent machines ultimately depends on how humans choose to use them. Engineers, with their creativity and skill, play a pivotal role in advancing technology. These machines, no matter how much advanced they are, cannot replace the unique intelligence, experiences, and emotions that define humanity. The essence of progress lies in our hands, and it is our wisdom and guidance that will shape the future. Super intelligent machines may aid us, offering remarkable capabilities and solutions, but the heart and soul of innovation and empathy will always be uniquely humans. Our creativity, compassion, and ethical judgment ensure that technology serves to enhance and not at all replace our inherent human qualities. The engineers who craft these advancements must always remember that their work supports and uplifts the human spirit and not at all overshadow it. We are the architects of the future, not its victims, said Buckminster Fuller, highlighting the responsibility and potential within human hands.
The history of AI can be traced back to the mid 20th century when the field was in its infancy. Early AI systems were rule based and primarily used for solving mathematical problems. Artificial superintelligence has numerous followers and supporters, but experts such as Bill Gates and Elon Musk are apprehensive about artificial superintelligence and consider it a threat to humanity. Super intelligent AI systems are programmed with a predetermined set of moral considerations. The problem is humanity has never agreed upon a standard moral code and has lacked on all-encompassing ethical theory. AI regulation has been a main focus of countries like US and European Union are creating measures to manage the rising sophistication of artificial intelligence. We can recognize the way AI is used, but we don't hold back progress in basic technology. Nuclear backpacks of Sam Altman apparently has codes to save the world in case of AI systems take matters into their own virtual hands. AI systems that are aligned with human values to ensure this powerful technology remain beneficial for society, not a threat.
To navigate these treacherous waters of AI, we must pivot towards ethical frameworks. And this echoes the principles of deontological ethics, which assert that actions are inherently either right or wrong, independent of their consequences, while the social contract theory offers another big bulwark. Yet, we must acknowledge the profound challenges in encoding these principles into AI. The internet, laden with myriad ideologies and biases, presents a cacophony of perspectives that cannot be neatly distilled into an ethical algorithm. Moreover, AI's current limitations in understanding nuances like sarcasm or context could lead to harmful misinterpretations and actions. Just imagine a super intelligent machine misapplying a sarcastic command.
as the notion of equipping AI with principles rather than relying solely on genetic algorithms, fraught with its own complexities to a point at which AI could surpass human intelligence and evolve beyond our control. Consider the chilling possibilities. An AI that adopts hedonic utilitarianism might interpret human pleasure as the ultimate good. In such a scenario, traditional methods of regulation and oversight may prove insufficient. We must explore innovative fail-safe mechanisms that can intervene in real time. So, in conclusion, while the development of super intelligent machines hold immense potential, and as Isaac Asimov also said, the saddest part of life right now is that science gathers knowledge faster than society gathers wisdom. So it is our choices today that will shape the future, and it is through our wisdom and humanity that we will navigate this path. Thank you.
Thank you, team 2. You're well in time. Just finished 7 seconds before. So now it is the turn for team 5 to confer for 3 minutes and come back with their commentary on team 2's presentation. Right, team 5? So your conferring time starts now. Team 5, are you ready with your commentary?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please start. Your 5 minutes starts now.
It always seems impossible until it's done. The development of super intelligent machines, SIMs, presents profound ethical and legal challenges. As we approach the possibility of creating machines that may even surpass human intelligence in various domains, it's crucial to examine both their potential benefits and the risks they pose to human life and our planet. Establishing comprehensive regulatory framework and legal guidelines for their development is a complex but essential task. However, focusing solely on legal aspects can lead to overlooking important issues like privacy, accountability, liability, and the impact on employment. Addressing these concerns in tandem with regulatory measures is vital for ensuring that SIMs contribute positively to society while mitigating potential dangers. But the question still remains, will SIMs be a boon or a bane for our humanity? The answer lies in how we choose to develop and utilize this powerful technology.
The case study raises critical concerns about the potential risks associated with the developing of superintelligent machines. Once machines surpass human intelligence and gain the ability to improve themselves, there could be a rapid and uncontrollable intelligence explosion, potentially leaving humans far behind in both capability and control. This evolution could lead to unforeseen catastrophic consequences. As the creators of these machines, we risk them mimicking our negative behaviors. Simply embedding ethical theories into machines does not guarantee that they will act beneficially towards humanity. Optimizing ethical principles is not entirely risk free either and can lead to harmful and unintended outcomes. Therefore, careful optimization and control of such machines are crucial. For instance, we must always maintain a kill switch to shut down machines immediately if something goes wrong. Keeping machines from becoming completely independent also ensures that we retain control.
एआई इंसानों की जगह नहीं ले सकता, लेकिन एआई वाला इंसान एआई के बिना इंसानों की जगह ले लेंगे। मूलतः एआई एक उपकरण के अलावा और कुछ नहीं है, जिसका सर्वोच्च नियंत्रण हमेशा मनुष्यों के पास होना चाहिए। तर्कसंगत रूप से जब हम ये नियंत्रण खो देते हैं, तो तकनीकी विलक्षणता की घटना घटित होती है, जिससे दुविधाओं की स्थिति पैदा हो जाती है। जबकि सिम अर्थात सुपर इंटेलिजेंट मशीन मानव समाज के लिए गंभीर खतरा प्रतीत होते हैं, वास्तव में उचित प्रबंधन और दूरदर्शिता के अनुप्रयोग से वे कई मायने में हमारे लिए फायदेमंद भी हैं, जैसे कि वैज्ञानिक अनुसंधान, समस्या समाधान और अनुकूलता, व्यक्तिगत सहायता, शासन, स्वास्थ्य और चिकित्सा क्षेत्र में।
The supposed rise of super intelligent machines and technology stir up recollections of the movie recreation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, which, in the eyes of many, provoked both the feelings of horror and awe. To a majority of researchers, these advances in AI innovations sparked off fascinating and exciting possibilities that 20 years ago could only be limited to human imagination. But now it looms on the horizon. We must ask the pivotal question, why do we even need these super intelligent machines? Hedonistic utilitarianism says that the right action is the one that produces the greatest net happiness for all. In the context of advanced AI, we imagine that hedonistic utilitarianism could perhaps lead to a scenario where machines permanently connect humans to pleasure inducing experiences, risking ethical concerns and human autonomy. The possibilities are endless. Actually, the cause of human suffering is our careless attitude towards problems that actually matter. Relying on a future fantasy to erase our worries will not help. So, our question for Team 2 is, given the potential risks and rewards of such machines, does this case study rekindle the debate between hedonism and stoicism? Thank you.
Team 2, I hope you're clear with the question. You want them to repeat it? What do you want? Please unmute yourself, Team 2.
Ma'am, the question is clear. Thank you very much.
Okay, now, so you get 3 minutes to confer and then please come back with your rebuttal after 3 minutes. Thank you, children. So time is over. Time up. So are you prepared for your rebuttal?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please start. Team 2.
Okay, ma'am.
Team 2
Firstly, I would like to thank my fellow opponents and extend my gratitude for their question. And the first point you mentioned was about the risks and the advantages of AI. So I would like to point out some risks and advantages. Some of the advantages are it can transform industries in a very great way and also revolutionize our lifestyles. It has greater problem solving skills and greater energy potentials. Radical developments like mind uploading and nanotechnology are one of the most modern developments it is creating. The risks, all of us talk about the risks, and some of them are cognitive behavior manipulation of people or specific vulnerable groups, and social scoring, which classifies people based on behavior and socioeconomic conditions, and also manipulation of biometric identification system. But at the end, this decision is up to us, up to the humans, how we choose to use AI. And we at the end also quote that AI is nothing without human interference, and human touch in AI is very, very crucial.
Thank you so much for delving deep into our presentation and enhancing the grace of this competition. So, first of all, I would like to refer to the picture of Dorian Gray by great Sir Oscar Wilde, where the protagonist's portrait brings doom to anyone who reveres it. Just like that, people who surrender themselves to the ages of AI might call peril upon themselves. Where you talked about stoicism and hedonism, I would like to tell you that stoicism ignites the primal instinct of aloofment from the bliss of pleasure and self reverence, while hedonism, on the other hand, worships the very thought of pleasure. So we know that AI can rekindle and instigate a sense of pleasure in people because people become really dependent on AI. Now, my teammate would like to carry on.
We do agree that there needs to be a codified set of rules that define laws that govern AI across borders. But the super AI is that much powerful that they will be able to manipulate people, and they have all political tactics and diplomacy. They can prevent their users from using the fail-safe mechanism. Moreover, they can write their own codes and insert them into themselves so that they don't follow fail-safe mechanism. It is sure that they don't need to be conscious. And obviously, AI is an infant at best. Once it becomes a teenager and believes it is smarter than its parents, it will rebel.
Today in the in the 21st century, AI is helping us in every sector, such as business operation, medical treatment, space expeditions, cybersecurity, content generation, what not. AI is helping us in every sector and in every minute. But at last, we also have to keep in mind the famous quote by Stephen Hawking that he said in 2014 that success in AI would be the biggest event in the history of mankind, but it might also be the last, unless we learn how to avoid the risk involved in AI.
Now, I would like to tell you about promoting explainability and transparency with AI. Developing mechanisms to ensure that AI systems are explainable and transparent will further enhance ethical governance as well. Explainable AI initiatives should be prioritized to help users and stakeholders understanding how decisions are made by AI systems. This will foster trust and facilitate scrutiny. Comprehensive documentation practices and regular reporting of AI practices will also aid in establishing accountability and mitigating risks associated with opaque algorithms. Thank you very much.
Thank you, children, for your rebuttal. Very well articulated. Now, with this, we come to the end and we begin with the judges round. I request Himangi ma'am, please, to ask the first question to team 2. Himangi ma'am.
All right. So, am I audible and visible to as per your expectations? So,
Yes.
Northern Command, very good to see you. I think second or third time maybe, but I'm really happy this time to see your research work. And I get an opportunity every time, I think, to come across with a different perspective altogether when you people are, delivering your dialogues. So I personally found this to be a very one-sided, inclinated uh, dialogue when we are dealing with the concept and the topic like AI. So I am putting here another perspective, right? So I'm trying to put a brief on this with something very brief, small thing, and then I would put my question. If we look forward to a natural aspects of intelligence, all right, whether when you talk about nature or science for that matter together or in different forms, we find there is a yin and yang, zin and zang to both sides, pros and cons to every side. So there is natural day and natural night coming in, and whenever we at those aspects, we find to be a positive and a negative. So these are both the forms of energies. Correct. There has to be a clear balance. How we want that balance to be inculcated is dependent upon the utility of that. We generally don't prefer a negative side, but electrons are as equally important as the protons, right? For us, the foundation, the stronger the foundation, the taller the building. We always have said this. I want you to give me a perspective on spirituality and its role when we are defining the intelligence of human skills or human beings to counter the AI. Okay. So I want you to help me with the role of spirituality in the education system for us to counter the negativities expected, anticipated in the world of AI. Do you think it will help? Do you think it can help? What is your, thought on this? Because I think that particular perspective is totally missing from what we are talking right now.
Team 2
Am I
has understood the question. Ma'am has posted to you. Sorry, ma'am, you were saying something. Please go ahead.
No, please go ahead. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, ma'am, for the thoughtful and challenging question. We are humbled by this opportunity to engage in such an enlightening exchange of ideas. So I would start with some facts and data. AI offers transformative benefits such as improving healthcare with accurate diagnostics and accelerating drug discovery, also boosting economic productivity and social backgrounds. And with a projected $13 trillion in addition to global GDP by 2030, and enhancing efficiency in industries like manufacturing and retail. It also presents risks, including job displacement, with an estimate of 75 million jobs at a risk of automation by 2022. And balancing these advantages and risks require responsible development, ethical considerations, which we require to put in. So my teammates will answer your question now, ma'am.
Ma'am, it is the first time in the history of the world after nearly 4 billion years that non-human, alien and inorganic entities are there with us who are as dominant as us, and we don't know what the world will look like in the next 20 years. spirituality in education system plays a very big role. We do agree. Like examples are centuries ago, an Indian astrologist Varaha Mihir predicted the presence of water and iron on Mars, which is now being researched by NASA and ISRO. And we know the line in Hanuman Chalisa, Juk Sahastra Jojan Par Bhanu, Lilyo Tahi Madhur Phal Janu. This calculates the accurate distance between Sun and Earth. Sushrut and Charak performed surgeries which are today being performed with the help of AI. So we should basically understand that we are not any cripples without AI. We can do everything, but obviously for our convenience, we have this AI, and it should be there for only convenience, not to rule us. My teammate will elaborate now.
Ma'am, AI is working under manipulation data, and AI will select the form from the stored data. So according to spirituality, we can include good amount of data and spiritual data into the AI so that the algorithms can be made in such a way. And teaching the students spirituality about the good uses of AI can be explained by a very simple example of Ramayana, in which we all have seen when Sri Ram used to call his Brahmastra. Once he used the Brahmastra for the Samudra Dev when he was not giving him the way to Sri Lanka, but he never used that. And he said to the Samudra Dev that I have now called the Brahmastra, but I can't use it because it will create the destruction. Then he threw that towards a mountain that was a rocky mountain for the benefit of the people. So this is a very huge example that if we in anger, if we are using such kind of things, we have to also have an option so that we can counter that and we can use it for the benefit of people. Similarly, we have to teach the students that we have to use AI, but we have to also keep in mind that we should have an alternative option to save humanity.
The intersection of spirituality and AI is a fascinating and evolving area of exploration. Spirituality, often associated with the search of meaning and inner peace and connection with the transcendent, and traditionally involved human experiences, beliefs, and practices. AI, on the other hand, encompasses the development of machines and software that can perform tasks requiring human-like intelligence, such as learning, reasoning, as well as problem solving. As AI technology advances, they increasingly interact with aspects of human lives that have spiritual dimensions as well. For instance, AI can be used to analyze and interpret spiritual texts, etc. So, at last, I would like to say that as we navigate these waters, we must strive to ensure that our creation remains tools for human flourishing rather than being harbingers of our own obsolescence. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am, for your question. I hope they've answered it the way you wanted it, Himangi, ma'am.
I think this side has truly been unexplored from their angles as on date or time. I just want to park still listening to what you have delivered. You very beautifully tried to answer this, but I can understand this perspective was not thought before. We need to go for a research on this. I just want to park a statement here, Bacha, ki AI is also something which human beings are creating. अगर human beings को पता होगा कि क्या बनाना है तो वो बनाएंगे. And you very rightly quoted रामायण. तो थोड़ा पहले आते हैं जब तो Indian education system और Indian system of spirituality या आप सीधे सीधे मैं आपसे कहूँ सनातन धर्म का अगर हम लोग कोट करते हैं which is only about knowledge, I'm referring here, don't take me here and there as on date, but वहां पर creator is equally given the importance of the destructor. हम ब्रह्मा विष्णु महेश तीनों की पूजा करते हैं, correct? So if we genuinely understand कि मेरे अंदर से मुझे चाहिए क्या, so the people who are going to develop the AI, the people who are going to mark the developments of the programs, the programming of the AIs or futuristic aspects can control or maybe give a superior side to counter the negatives coming in. That is something which I would like to park here. But I think जब भी हम AI की बात करेंगे, spirituality and foundational human skills will always be able to counter the negatives. So that is my submission. Go back. I would look forward to your research work again, and I'm giving you this an open ground. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Himangi ma'am, for insightful, statement that you've given to the children. I'm sure you've given them some food for thought. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you.
I'm really thankful for this particular participation of mine, which you have actually asked me to do. Thank you so much.
We are privileged to have you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Now I request Anisha ma'am to pose her question.
Well, to take this point forward, since Himangi ma'am, she just explained it beautifully about the spirituality in terms of AI. So how we are using it as a human being, what is important for us that we all need to understand first, rather than just, jumping inside the system. AI हमसे हम ये कर सकते हैं, वो कर सकते हैं. There are so many things, right, which we can do with AI. पर अभी तक क्या हमने सारे एस्पेक्ट्स को कवर किया है जो कि विच इज इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर द जनरेशन टू अंडरस्टैंड. So again, my question would be on a similar line. Here I'm asking this question from team 2 is what specific control mechanism should be in place to ensure that the super intelligent machine remain aligned with human values and do not pose a threat to humanity? Is the question clear?
Yes, ma'am, your question is clear.
All right.
Thank you so much for delving so beautifully into this topic, ma'am. We are really grateful for this benevolent exchange of ideas with you. So I would like to first of all tell you that the upheavals of AI can accelerate very quickly and become scarier and even cataclysmic. And just imagine how a medical robot originally programmed to treat cancer could conclude that the best way to obliterate cancer is to exterminate humans who are genetically prone to these diseases. Now, my teammates would like to further elaborate this.
Ma'am, there has to be a specific control on control mechanism. And obviously, AI is something which we haven't understood yet. And it is difficult for us to understand its full implications. First time it's there, the alien intelligence from which we are dealing. In chess, no human can think of winning from a computer. What if it happens the same in politics, economics, and even religion? I would like to quote an example here. In the Russian elections in 2018, an AI politician stood against Vladimir Putin and was left behind by a very less margin. And there is a thing that humans may realize that there is the technological singularity once robots eliminate human input. Such a state of AI singularity will be permanent once computers understand what we so often tend to forget, that making mistakes is the part of human being. Now my teammates would elaborate.
Ma'am, in context about the risk involved with super AIs, we can apparently see the risk, such as we have recently seen Indian elections in which there were some people or some agenda narrative setters or YouTube personals use the AI method of deep fake, and they deep fake the videos of higher or the senior leaders of different political parties and set their narratives, which can lead to a very disheartful and a serious situation for a democracy like India. And ma'am, to the answer to how we can control super AIs or what are alternatives for it, we have an example of nuclear backpacks of Sam Altman, who has apparently has algorithms and codes to save the world in case AI systems take matter into their virtual hands. Passing on to my friend.
Ma'am, I would like to cover the point of future generations and adaptation to super intelligent AI. Upcoming generations are likely to adopt the realities of super intelligent AI through several means. And I also came across a case study where a scientist from the UK was trying to work on a fail-safe mechanism where the reproduction process of AI robots was to be controlled by human codes. And also, education systems may also shift their focus towards fostering skills such as emotional intelligence, creativity, and critical thinking, which are less susceptible to automation. And now over to my teammate.
Ma'am, no doubt we have to be modern and technology oriented, and we do believe in the same, but not at the cost of our dignity, society, and humanity. This is the age of technology, but ethics and humans make a society, obviously. AI's moral dimensions remain a major cause of concern in today and maybe in the next 10 years. Thank you, ma'am.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, team 2. Well explained.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your question. Okay, before we end the meeting, I would like to give my gratitude to all the guests, judges, members, and my special love to all the participants and greetings to them. You all were exceptional. You were very good. You have to keep up the good work. Now, before I end the meeting, I would request all of you to join again at 11 a.m. tomorrow for an address by the judges and also for the declaration of the result. I hope I'm clear to everybody.
Yes, ma'am, you are very
Okay.
clear.
Okay, thank you. And I request the judges to stay on for a minute. We can just talk and we can discuss about tomorrow. The rest can all leave the meeting. Thank you, everyone. I just request the judges to be there in the meeting. Seema ma'am, can I ask you to switch on your video, please? Pin Seema ma'am, please. Thank you so much, Himangi ma'am and Anisha ma'am, for being there. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us here.
Got disconnected, so I'll speak to her separately. Ma'am, there has been an observation that when you liaison with the commands for agreement of to be the judge, you've got to be at the station because there are like 137 schools and almost thousands of children who are watching you, and this program has gone live on YouTube. So you got to be at one station and you've got to judge from there. So that is one requirement. And I hope all of you are going to be there in your stations tomorrow.
Sorry,
Yes.
I didn't get it. I didn't get this point.
This point was because there has been this event is live. It's on YouTube live. There are 137 army schools and thousands of children who are watching you. So one observation that has come from Central Hour is that we need to be in station while judging the event.
In station means where exactly?
Not traveling.
All right.
Not traveling. Wherever we are, whether in state, it's an online match. We are supposed to.
No, we can understand. We can understand that.
So that's the thing, because people are watching you live and also a decorum has to be maintained. So that has to be there. You have to be in station. That's a request. And also we will be meeting again at 11 and I'll be requesting you to address this to 9 or 11. Match is at 9. Their address is at 11. Yes. So match is at 9. We are going to meet again at 8:45. We log in. Match starts at 9. And at 11 o'clock, I'm going to request you to address the students and declare the result as well. So that's the way.
Sure.
Right. Thank you so much, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.